Are you in need of some love advice, money advice, or career advice? If so, simply purchase your reading via irishpsychic.net. Readings are delivered within 24 hours and can give you all the details you require. Tarot, pendulum, crystal ball. The answers all lie within. Readings start from as little as €3, £2, $4. Log on today and see what's in store for you. irishpsychic.net for all your psychic needs.
And you're very welcome back after that quick commercial break. Well, I did promise you that I would have a very special guest on the show tonight, and I do. It is Abby Wynne. Hello there, Abby.
Hiya, how are you? It's great to be here.
Oh, thank you very much for joining us on the Irish Psychic Show.
It's a fantastic opportunity for me. I'm really happy you asked.
Oh, good. So, Abby, I suppose the first thing I'd like to start off with is asking you what it is that you do, if that's okay.
Oh, it's very okay, and it's taken me years to still figure that one out myself. I mean, I can offer you what my qualifications are, but what I actually do is a blend of everything. I'm a fully qualified and accredited psychotherapist. I'm also a shamanic practitioner and a Reiki Seiken master. But I did all the training at the same time, and I find that with traditional psychotherapy, you know, it's brilliant, it's fantastic, but your soul, your emotions, they need time to catch up. Whereas the Reiki works with the soul, the emotions, as does the shamanic aspect. And, you know, the brain needs time to catch up. So I just bring it all together. So we literally go on a journey and we take the soul, the heart, power and strength, and the brain with us. And so when you come out the other end, you kind of have an idea where you went and where you need to go. So...
Wow. Well, you mentioned there shamanic, and a lot of people would be unfamiliar with that term. What does shamanic, mean?
Shamanic, wow, it's an all-encompassing word, and I actually think that the core of shamanism is communication with energy, and we all do that. And once you start putting labels and qualifying and quantifying, it gets more complicated. But, you know, you have the idea you can listen to the wind, you can talk to the trees, the bird comes and has a message for you. You know, you're working with animals, you're working with people, with nature, with spirits. But the key thing about shamanism is you work with what's there, not what you think is there. So you have to do a lot of that work away from your brain and what your brain is telling you, you know, society and culture and all of that kind of thing.
Oh, wow. And you mentioned there that you're also a qualified psychotherapist. So I suppose when you are giving, you know, a session during, you know, your counselling, etc., would you find that, you know, Reiki and, you know, all the different healing properties that, you know, what it is that you do would come into play as well?
Absolutely. You know, I work with a lot of therapists who are setting up their own practices, and I always recommend that at the very least they take an introduction to counselling class. You can do one evening a week over an academic year, or you can even do 2 weeks, I think, in a summer, more intensive. But what that does is it teaches you how to listen. You'd be amazed how good we think we are at listening until you step into that class. And all you really are listening to is yourself. To be able to step out of the way and really hear what's going on for someone else provides a space for them to unravel all of the thoughts and dreams, emotions and everything. And then the psychotherapy training that I have, I feel helps put the jigsaw pieces together. And let's say the Reiki's the glue that keeps them there, you know.
And I suppose even like with the line of work that, you know, I do with regards to tarot readings, etc., people do presume that we have, you know, the most amazing lives, the perfect lives, but we don't. We're just like every human being. We're struggling, we're doing our best. And I suppose even with your own practice, I'm sure that, you know, your own line of work has helped you immensely in your own life as well.
Well, one of the things I've really noticed about me compared to some other people is I do my personal work. You know, you have a lot of people who do counselling, psychotherapy training because they need to see a psychotherapist, not necessarily because they need to be one. So I did all of my healing, my personal work, before I took up my training. So I was a few steps ahead, let's say, of everyone else. But what you say is true. And when you think of the people out there who need help, who are they going to go to help, you know, to help them? The guy that's sitting on the top of the mountain, cross-legged, meditating all day, who can't connect into real life anymore? Or the person who's a few steps ahead of them going up the mountain, who can lean down and say, hey, I've navigated that road already. I know what's coming. Give me your hand and let me help you. You know, you could relate more to the person than to the guru. So promise me, if I ever get guru-like, you'll come and hunt me down.
Oh, and another question, you know, for the listeners of the Irish Psychic Show, what happens, you know, when they go to you if they book a session?
Well, that's really interesting, and this is the first time I've been on anything with the word psychic being used, and I actually am quite clear about not using that on my website. But the shamanic aspect is communion and communication through your spirit guides, through, you know, ancestral spirits. And so the more work I do on me, the clearer I get, the more I can hear, and that's psychic. So I guess this is like a coming out. I do have psychic abilities. So if someone comes to me for a session, they don't know what they want, I always ask them to sit down, come into the room, get a bit more comfortable, and then let me know what's on their mind. And I have to say, the beauty of having such a wildly large social media presence is that people feel they know me already when they come in, so it doesn't take too long for them to trust me, and so they can get straight to the heart of the matter. And then I'm able to see, feel, taste, touch, know which kind of direction to go on. Sometimes people can't talk about it, so I say, right, on the plinth, and we'll do hands-on healing. And in that session, it's very magical. It could be ancestral healing, past life healing. I call in all my guides. There could be angels there. You know, there could be ancestors there getting messages, releasing old blocks, stuck energies. You know, I love what I do because every session is so different. Sometimes when we're on the plinth and things start to shift for a client, they start to talk. And they go, I'm feeling this here, I'm feeling this there, it reminds me of this. So we talk, and we can see how their body's been holding memories of traumatic events or grief or pain, and allow them to release it. But the brain is then fully aware of what it is they're releasing, do you know? So then a session like that, we come back to the chairs afterwards and we go, okay, how are you going to remember once you leave the room that work is done? Because I have to say straight out, we love doing our work, we love being stuck. And it's harder to move from something than to be in it, do you know? So I would use cognitive behavioral techniques to retrain with people so that you're not going around in the same circles anymore, but you're moving forward.
Oh, excellent. And another question, I mean, I suppose, you know, even with what I do when someone has passed over and, you know, they're going to the afterlife, a lot of people are looking, for messages. Do you have a lot of people that would come to you after, you know, losing someone?
I do, but you know, I'm very clear that I'm not a medium and I'm not a psychic, that I open to those, you know, if it's like a need-to-know basis, you know, if they need to know, if they don't need to know, I'm not the person for that. If they want to get a reading from someone who's passed on, I would say go to a psychic medium or a medium. But for me, if there's some emotional heartstrings are pulling and there's pain and it's to do with their great-grandmother or their grandfather or their father, then it'll come up in the session and we can clear it in the session. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's amazing, you know, I see this where the ancestors, and I'm sure, you know, anyone who's done any form of healing knows that we who are in our physical body now are further ahead than, say, our parents are or our grandparents were. And sometimes you get great-grandparents who are a bit, let's say, regretful that they didn't get as far as we did. So they might be hanging around and being a bit anxious, being a bit jealous, being a bit angry that how dare my great-great-great-granddaughter be able to do all these things that I know I'm able to do and I never had the opportunity, do you know? So shamanically, I'm able to bring the healing to the ancestor as well, allow them to see, look, this is all for the highest good of all and you can have your chance too. And, you know, and shamanism, there's an aspect called psychopomp work. Have you heard of that?
I haven't, no.
And the psychopomp work of shamanism works directly with the dead, where you can open the portal and bring them to the light. And so if they're ready to go, I can do that too.
Oh, wow. Wow. So there's loads of different things that happened, you know, during a session as well with regards to yourself.
Oh, there is. I mean, shamanism is such a huge thing. You know, it's massive that people have different ideas based on different aspects, like the ayahuasca that always comes up, where you take a mind-altering substance, you know, like some kind of drug. I've never done that, and I don't need to do that. Whereas for me, that is like breaking through a wall that needs to be smashed down, and I've never had a wall there to begin with. So I don't condone that. You know, people get in touch with me, where do I go to do this? I just say, no, this isn't my area. Shamanism is, can be based on Native American, and you can do your sweat lodge and your chanting and all of that, and I've never done that. Because shamanism is indigenous. Shamanism has been all around the world. Shamanism actually comes from Russia, the name shamanism, because there's watching the Russian indigenous people, the medicine men, doing their thing. But the Bushmen in Australia, they're shamans. There's voodoo shamans, the shamans all over the world. And I think us contemporary shamans, we work with what we've got now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, on that note, Abby, stay with me because we're going to take a quick commercial break. And if you've just joined me, by the way, on the Irish Psychic Show, you're listening to the very special guest, which is Abby Wynne. Do join us after this.
Are you in need of some love advice, money advice, or career advice? If so, simply purchase your reading via irishpsychic.net. Readings are delivered within 24 hours and can give you all the details you require. Tarot, pendulum, crystal ball. The answers all lie within. Readings start from as little as €3, £2, $4. Log on today and see what's in store for you. irishpsychic.net for all your psychic needs.
People pass me by. I often wonder what they're hiding there behind those smiles, 'cause eyes don't lie. Why do we feel we're all alone in this universe, squeezing soul from a stone? God, I'm so alone, way above alone. You're doing, look around, look into their eyes. Maybe a part of you is found in there, and maybe you'll sleep tight. No one ever understands and the way I'm feeling. No one ever shares that pain. It's just too revealing, so we keep it
you in need of some love advice, money advice, or career advice? If so, simply purchase your reading via irishpsychic.net. Readings are delivered within 24 hours and can give you all the details you require. Tarot, pendulum, crystal ball. The answers all lie within. Readings start from as little as €3, £2, $4. Log on today and see what's in store for you. irishpsychic.net for all your psychic needs.
And you're very welcome back to the Irish Psychic Show. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that song. That was You Make Me Beautiful by Marina 5. Okay, so still with me in studio is the fabulous Abby Wynne. You're still with me, Abby?
I am, of course.
Oh, brilliant. So just during the commercial break there, I was kind of asking you a few questions, and I have to mention it as well because obviously for the listeners of the show, and we mentioned there with regards self-healing. A lot of people are going through difficulties with regards to their own life, financially, emotionally, and obviously with regards to relationship as well. Do you find that as well, that there is a way of kind of healing yourself as well, if you can, bring up that?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, you can look at all the politics of Reiki and paying lots and lots of money for an attunement when we have a right to access the energy that we can connect to ourselves. My first book that I've written is called Energy Healing for Everyone. And I've actually split it into two parts. So the first part is discussing the concepts behind energy healing and why we are entitled to do this and how to connect. And then the second part is how to do it and how to bring it into your daily life. So there's actually, exercises step by step and meditations and guided work that you can start healing yourself right away. And to make it even easier for people, what I've done is I've recorded some of these and I have them on SoundCloud. I have them on my website. So I talk you through the basics of certain exercises like grounding or opening to light. And you learn how to do it with my help, and then you don't need to listen to me anymore. You can do it yourself. And when you do it yourself, you can speed it up or you can stay longer at it.
Brilliant. And again, like with regards to meditation, it is such a powerful tool.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, there's many, many types of meditation. The type that I would use would be active guided meditation where you're working, you're doing something. I mean, and the listeners of the show now, when you're finished, you can go to SoundCloud and look me up, Abby Wynne on SoundCloud. I've got 10, I think, there now. One of them is clearing financial fear. I've got a 5-minute meditation exercise there. I have connecting into power and strength exercise. They're all free. And I know people who have them on their phone and listen to them every day. People who get panic attacks. I have one dealing with overwhelm. And what really is helpful for them is once they learn how to do it. It's like going through the rainforest with a machete and cutting down the path. Once the path is there, they don't need the machete anymore. You can go down as many times as you want to by yourself.
And you mentioned, just a valid point there, a lot of people don't know how to do this. So just by you letting us know, and for the listeners as well, what I will be doing is I'll be putting those details on my own website and obviously on the group page as well. Because some people, once you're connected to the internet, it's this huge, medium. Excuse the pun, but it is it's a huge medium. Where everything is available to us.
Oh, absolutely. I know. And that's also make the point that everything is available to us by people that aren't necessarily the people to go to for you. So I always say to people, listen to any guided meditation before you actually go deeper into it so that you feel comfortable and safe that it's the right thing for you.
Absolutely. And it's not dangerous. Some people kind of think, oh, am I going to go asleep and, is strange things going to happen? It's quite the opposite.
Going asleep is fine, and I teach you how to be empowered in your healing process, which means to be fully aware of what's going on and to be able to make the right choices. You don't come to me and see me for 6 sessions. I don't tell people they have to come back. It's up to you to decide, well, I think I need to go and see Abby again. And that's empowering in itself, because you get some people who say, you need to do a series of 6 sessions with me. Some people only need 1. It's fabulous stuff. Self-healing, we all have it. So even on my website, I say, when you come with me, I can, you're going to feel better and you're going to know how to help keep yourself feel better when you leave.
Absolutely. And again, you mentioned there your website. If you would like to check it out, and trust me, it's one website not to be missed. It is abby-wynne.com.
That's right, abby-wynne.com, and I've got my blog on there as well. And even in my blog, I give exercises. I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there to give a sense of how to get a structure or a framework for yourself to start learning how to heal. Because it's true, we just don't know how to do it. I'll give you an example, Gerard. I mean, my little girl, she was only 4, and I came home, I had a headache, and she's there, come on, Mama, I'll take the headache away. And she put her hand on my head. I never taught her anything. And when she decided it was gone, she pulled it out, and then she went to the bin, and she said very loudly, I'm putting your headache in the bin now. You know, and it's wonderful because, that's the kids are so much in touch with that. And we as grown-ups, we have to get back in touch with that aspect of ourselves that allows imagination, creativity, and that brings in the joy, happiness, and the well-being.
And just on, you mentioned their headaches, Abby, do you feel when you get a headache, or if anyone gets a headache, that there is kind of a blockage and it's not just kind of a medical, if that makes sense?
Well, I have a science degree, and I have to come from, the rationale that if there's a technical fault in the body, then you have to work with the technical parts, mechanical fault, chemical faults, you have to look at all of those things. So energy healing doesn't magically take those away, but what energy healing does do is release blockages in the flow that allows your body to heal itself. So if you've been holding on to anger and pain and stress and anxiety, let's say, that's giving you irritable bowel syndrome, you can relax. Doing the self-healing, you can release the anger and pain, and the stomach can soften, and regularity of movement can come in. But if there's been actual physical damage, then that needs to get physical repair. It could be, you might need to get medication or whatever like that. You have to be, it's all things in balance.
Yeah.
We're not living in a natural environment anymore. You're walking down the street and you're breathing in all these toxic fumes. The food that we eat is quite processed, and there's chemicals in that. So even though we have natural healing at our fingertips, literally, we have so many unnatural things around us to contend with that sometimes we do need a bit of help.
Absolutely. And also, I suppose, for anyone that's interested in the line of work that it is that you do, Abby, do you teach it as well?
I have been teaching. I've been teaching Reiki. I've been teaching shamanism. I'm teaching a class called Spiritual Self-Care, particularly for psychotherapists who learn in class that you wash your hands when the client goes and then they're gone, and that's really not the case at all. So I do train psychotherapists in self-care and other holistic therapists, but there's a lot of people out there that are very sensitive and pick up energies from other people, and I work a lot with them too. To be honest now, I've just moved into Fitzwilliam Square, and I love the space, I love the room, but I haven't yet had a workshop in here because I'm feeling it's not big enough. So I'm on the lookout for a venue, and I might see if I can get some kind of meditation group going or something locally to me to just try and kickstart that. But I have such an online following, I'm also playing with the ideas of doing this all through webinar.
Brilliant. And again, I didn't ask you this during the break, but with regards to people who want to give up smoking, can you help them? Or is that completely separate?
Here's the thing that's really interesting. No, because, you go to a hypnotherapist to give up smoking, right? They write a script and they plant it in your subconscious. And it takes or it doesn't take. Would you agree with me?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what I do is in shamanism is literally, okay, you want to give up smoking, but you're still smoking. So it's like I hold your hand and we both jump into the landscape of your subconscious and see what's there. And what's there is usually emotional issue. You're probably not looking after yourself well enough. You're giving too much of yourself away to other people. And it's not the smoking that we deal with. It's the other aspect of why you're smoking, why you need to smoke. I'm quite happy for people to smoke as long as they're fully present and mindful of the smoking. Of course, I always recommend if you do smoke to make the tobacco yourself and to not use the processed cigarettes because they have too many carcinogens in them. But I do find that when people realize it's anxiety, I need to look at my anxiety levels, then the cigarette just falls away. Or it's emotional, I need to love myself more, then the need for cigarettes just falls away. It's the same for food, it's the same for alcohol. I'm not a traditional psychotherapeutic addiction counselor. To be quite honest, I don't have time for people who are going to come in and lie to me. Did you have a drink this week? No, I didn't have a drink, and they did. I don't have time for that. You come to me if you're serious.
Not losing the connection there. 1 second. Abby said, "Oh, you're back again." Sorry, Abby.
Sorry. Yeah, if you come to me, you have to want to do the work. And if you do the work and you fall back, you know, if you're giving up drink and you go back to drink, I'm not criticizing you because I know your heart's in the right place. And we use that as a learning opportunity. But if you fall back on the drink and you don't tell me, then I can't work with that, you know? Very
good point, yeah. And again, with regards, we spoke about it there during the break. You know, there's a lot of listeners listening into this show who are over in the UK. They're over in the, you know, USA as well. How can they get a reading with you as well? Well, it's not a reading, but it's more so a consultation, etc.
Consultation, we do the healing, we do everything, and, you know, even on a voice call. It's amazing, you know, the scientific instrumentation does not exist that can prove this, but anybody who's ever experienced it knows the experience has been real. It's almost as if you take your focus and your awareness and you connect into the other person with their permission, and there's a flow. And then, you know, if it's pure healing energy, the pure healing energy just comes in and washes everything clean. The permission is important because if that person doesn't want everything washed away clean, then they're going to hold on to that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you look at somebody on a computer screen over Skype, you know, it's amazing. What I do is it's almost like I take a map of how they're feeling and I place it on my body. So I feel tightness in my chest and I say to them, do you feel tightness in your chest? And they go, yes. And then I can say, I'm feeling a hardness or, you know, in my stomach. Is that, you know, how's your stomach feel? And they go, yes, that's how I feel. And then as I'm bringing stuff in, I feel a release in my shoulders. And I say to them, I can see, you know, you've got a release going on in your shoulders. And they're like, wow, how did you know? And it doesn't matter if they're next door or if they're 3,000 miles away or, you know, if they're in Australia, if it's daytime, nighttime. It doesn't, you know, it's the connection is there. It's like the atoms, the molecules, the healing energy, it's all connected. It's just magical.
Oh, fantastic. And do they have to be on Skype in terms of, you know, that you have to physically see them, or can you do it over the telephone as well, Abby?
I can do it over the telephone through voice. I can also send healing to someone with a photograph. Now, I have to put my hand up and say I'm not crazy about just working off of photographs and emails because my human brain doesn't feel like I'm getting a good enough connection with that person. But I know people can do that. You know, people who are much stronger in their self-confidence than I can do whole psychic readings. I'm sure you do yourself just from, you know, an email or a name. Some people want an eye color or a date of birth. You know, it's just a question of connecting in with that person. And I've heard, you know, people having amazing results from me sending to a picture, even when I'm not feeling it as much as I would do, say, on a voice call or on a Skype video call.
I get you. Well, it's just so interesting, the fact that, you know, there's loads of different ways of getting in touch with you, that they don't have to be physically there. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people getting in touch with you.
Well, do you know, I have a healing circle. And I do healings on Facebook, and so people get into my healing group and I send healing to the group. My healing circle, you know, you become a member of that and you pay a small amount every month, and I send 2 full hours of healing every month. And people who've been on that, it feels like they've got a connection to me in their back pocket at all times. And every other Thursday, they can sit down, relax and open and let go of their fears and anxieties and bring in this healing specifically from me, through me, to them. And some of them have just gotten jobs from it. They've got new girlfriends, you know. I'm hearing amazing things.
Well, that's fantastic. And with regards to the healing circle, again, like, they can download it, is it? Or how does that work?
Well, what you do is I have the link on my Facebook page. I have the link on my website. And what I do is you connect in through me and you sign up through PayPal. And then twice a month you get an email where I'm saying, right, I'm sending it tonight. This one's just for you. The next one is like, throw in your family members. So if you have a sick uncle or you want to send it to your mother, you know, you can put them all in your heart that I want my dad to get this healing tonight. And then the healing just goes, and I just sit there for an hour and send healing. I used to do it very regularly on Facebook, but my Facebook page is now over 50,000 people. So if I say I'm going to send healing and I get 44,000 people signing up, it's a bit overwhelming for me. But what happens is the energy is just tremendous. I actually, would you believe this now, somebody on my Facebook page through a Facebook healing wrote to me and said, I'm an anorexic and I've lost my appetite completely, and after your healing I felt more connected to my body and I was able to eat, and it hasn't left me.
Oh, that
and
is
that was
fantastic.
like a week later. So, you know, that person, though, I have to stress, that person was ready for that.
Yeah.
You know, I see this as a catalyst. It speeds things up. You feel supported by it. But you're the one who does the work. You're the one who's ready to forgive. You're the one who's ready to move on, the one who's ready to let go. It's just the energy really helps move things quicker. That's how I see it anyway.
Absolutely. And for all the people on Facebook, which there is a lot of people, all you simply have to do is just search for Abby's Energy Healing page, and that'll come up there on Facebook. And make sure you do join the correct one, because there is 53,000.
God, 53 already. Wow.
Abby, you're doing well. You're doing very well. But it just goes to show you, I mean, it's...
the energy goes out there and people can see it. It's like being...
Oh,
that's what I see.
You're back
and
again.
I get people who are my clients who are lighthouses too.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't just something that's me. There's quite a few people out there who have this ability. It really is. And it's just a question of dusting off, you know, the grime that collects on the lighthouse itself so that the light can reach more people.
Absolutely. And I'm just looking on your website, and again, we have to mention about the books. How many books do you have?
I have 2 books now. I'm writing a 3rd one, would you believe?
Wow.
But the first one is really, it's a handbook for how to help heal yourself. The second book is called Spiritual Tips for Enlightenment, and that was written with the beautiful permission of the people on my Facebook page who sent me in so many photographs. I have like 52 photographs that were gifted to me, because each spiritual tip is accompanied by this most amazing picture, and everybody's name is in the book. So things like, you know, how to live more authentically, how to let go of things, how to forgive. You know, I can't even begin to remember all the different things that are in there, but it's done month by month. So you could take one spiritual tip for every week of the year and see if you can incorporate that into your daily life so that you can be, you know, feeling more spiritual, more in connection to yourself.
Oh, brilliant. And I have to ask this question, and I do apologise, but I get asked this question all the time. But a lot of people, there is the kind of non-believers as well. And I kind of say, well, listen, if it's not for you, you don't have to come near me. It's as simple as that. I mean, the people that are looking for the healing, the people that are looking for readings from myself as well, you know, they're coming to us. And, you know, you can't kind of... I suppose people have to be more open, Abby.
Well, you know, I have a master's in science and marine biology, and I worked in a laboratory for many years, and then I have my degree in psychotherapy, so I try to be as grounded as possible, and I meet people where they are. And I'm finding that a lot of the, you know, it's fear of them letting go of something that's benefiting them or they think is benefiting them at the moment. So if they like being where they are and they don't want to move, then I'm not going to rock the boat. You know, when I started in the business that I'm in, I wanted to go and preach to everyone and change everyone and convince everyone, and then I realized, you know, I'd just be pouring all this energy into you know, be taking all this energy out of me, and I wouldn't get anywhere because these people just don't want to know. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla. That's why we have both flavors.
A good analogy. It's true, though. 100%
true.
true.
We have mango flavor, mint flavor. We've got, you know, 57 flavors of ice cream for millions of people. And, you know, I actually had somebody who wrote a letter saying I was a threat and I was a danger, and they'd never met me before. And if you wanted to actually do the psychotherapy on that, it would be I'm a threat and I'm a danger to that person, because I might convince them that what they're holding on to so dearly isn't actually true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with me at all. And that's the same for anybody in this business. You know, if you come from the highest position of integrity with no agenda, you know, like I said, I'm not a guru. I'm just a human being who's done a bit of work in this area, and I want to share it. And, you know, if you want it, then it's there for you. And if you don't want it, that's okay. I'm not going to take it personally.
Absolutely. And Abby, for all the people listening into the show, how can they get in contact with you, please?
Well, Facebook is easy. Just type in Abby's Energy Healing page, and I'm there. You can find my website. It's abby-wynne.com. And I guess there'll be a couple of adverts for this radio show on your site too, so they
there
can
will be.
By there.
I don't think there's any excuse, Abby.
No excuse.
There's no excuse. So
my phone will be ringing off the hook. It'd be great.
Because a lot of the time people spell my website incorrectly, which is psychic. So just for the record, Abby Wynne. Wynne is spelled Wynne. So make sure you do spell it correctly, because otherwise...
That's right. The E isn't in Abbey. It's ABBY-WYNNE. Yeah, because there's the Abbey, like the Abbey churches, with the EY, and that's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't want people coming back to us going, "Oh, I'm on the wrong page."
Well, I'll tell you, you can go to Google and type in Abby Wynne, and I'm pretty sure something of mine will show up on there.
Oh, I always say that, Abby. Some people, even on Facebook, they kind of, they're kind of wondering, "Oh, what website is it? What's that, or whatever?" And I just say, "Look, just go to your friend. It's Google, and trust me, he or she will find all the links, related to yourself."
Absolutely.
Abby, is there anything else you'd like to say to the listeners of the Irish Psychic Show before we go?
Well, I've just loved being here. This is great fun. I hope you'll have me back again.
Absolutely.
But seriously, if you have any questions for me, maybe under the link for the show, you can write some questions and I might pop in and say hello. Or even come on my page and say hi.
Definitely.
I'm all up for meeting new people, and I hope that you might go to SoundCloud and listen to some of my 3 to 6 minute meditations and see if they help with anything that might be going on for you at the moment.
And again, they're all available via your website as well. There is an external link.
They are, yes.
Brilliant. Yeah. And again, there's different samples there in relation to, what was the ones that you mentioned there, Abby?
Well, the ones on SoundCloud, I think the most pertinent at the moment would be clearing your financial fear.
Big time,
and somebody wrote to me and said, I tried that for 3 days in a row and then I got a big check in the post. I can't believe it. So it's amazing, if you believe it enough and you clear enough, then you get results. I've also got one called You Are Enough, which helps you reconnect into yourself and accept where you are in your life. And I've got one dealing with overwhelm, which is great for people who are feeling a bit panicky, to just ground yourself, because all the craziness that's going on out there in the recession and the finances and everything, you need to not get lost in that, with the weather and natural disasters. This is your life too. You are the center of your universe, and if you cannot find your center, then you're going to be lost.
Big time, yeah. And I have to ask you a question as well, because seeing as I am a psychic medium, have you ever been to a psychic medium, Abby? I
have. I dip in and out. And I get clients who have come to psychic mediums too, and I think it's wonderful. I go for validation more than anything else, but I don't hand my power over to a psychic, or I think some people make that mistake as well. I'm sure you get that too, where everything you say is set in stone and there is no way around it. No, I think psychic's very important for helping you clear the pathways to see what's possible.
Exactly, and you mentioned a really valid point, because a lot of people would, you have to have your own mind as well, and you have to take on board what I say, but also with regards to what you have to say as well. We all have, the power to change our own future.
Oh yes, we all do, and the shamanism helps you rewrite the mythical map of your story. This always happens to me, that always happens to me, let's change that. That's what shamanism does. It helps you reframe, remap, and move forward into the life you've always wanted. And why not? Sure, you're here now, you might as well be happy now while you're here.
Exactly. Well, Abby, that is it, I'm afraid.
Wow.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. I think we talked about loads of things.
We did.
People really got sparked in enthusiasm about healing and self-healing. And it's not just about me and what I do. Lots of people who do healing do this. This is all about healing, all about energy.
Big time. And it's quite funny, actually, because before I came on air, I just imagined myself and yourself, because I haven't met you yet, but I will be, trust me. I just imagined us sitting down in a coffee shop and just talking non-stop for, 3 to 4 hours. And it only seems like 30 minutes. So there's a lot of stuff.
Wrapped it in sacred time. Sacred time is not chronological time, and in sacred time we've all met each other already, and it's like meeting someone that you feel you know already. So yeah, just catching up as opposed to getting to know you.
Likewise, it's absolutely brilliant. Well, Abby, once again, thank you very much for joining me on the show.
And thank you very much for having me.
Not at all. Well, there you go. That was Abby Wynne. Please do check out our website. It's www.abby, that's ABBY dash, and then WYNNE.com. Do join me after this.
Are you in need of some love advice, money advice, or career advice? If so, simply purchase your reading via irishpsychic.net. Readings are delivered within 24 hours and can give you all the details you require. Tarot, pendulum, crystal ball. The answers all lie within. Readings start from as little as €3, £2, $4. Log on today and see what's in store for you. irishpsychic.net for all your psychic needs.